the more they stay the same. And I know it's bright. I know. Hey, y'all, gravity. Any day above ground living. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Go out and hump some. I know I told y'all yesterday I wasn't going to stream, but this was too good to pass up. Please go see Captain America Brave New World. Even if you don't like comic book movies or movies in general, going outside, go out there, support that man, support everybody involved, regardless of their politics. It's a few hours of your time you can decompress from the world, even though I'm sure there's politics in it. But of course, you saw the title, you saw who's in the thumbnail. George Bush will pay for his crimes. He's gotten away with it for over 20 years. He shall pay. The woke right did it again. They did it again. They react to a clip, don't even say, let me go do the research and find out if that's what he really said. What was the context? None of that. And then they took, I want y'all to understand, they took a whole minute clip, right? Not even a minute, maybe like 30 seconds. And they made 10-minute videos out of it. Living up to the name of reactionary channels. And we all know reactions are not always positive. Okay, let's have fun. Shout out to Dre Mack. If you don't know who Dre Mack is, look him up on YouTube, the Dre Mack Show. He did a live stream about this morning, and he brought a lot of great insight. I'm going to give nerddom. That's what I'm going to do. Because I love how these folk run around and say how he not Captain America. He's not Steve Rogers. He not this, that, and the third. Yet they seem to forget, and this is where you can tell that they don't read the comics. Steve Rogers, on more than one occasion, told the government to go play with themselves. More than once. But they're upset that the black man said that Captain America is a lot of things, but the term America shouldn't be one of them. Which I didn't have a problem with him saying that because he's correct. Captain America has gone way past being just exclusive to America. They forget that there was a whole storyline called The Captain where he left. It was somebody else. He acted like a libertarian. They said you didn't pay your taxes. You gotta you gotta be in debt to us by serving as Captain America and work that off. He said, "Nah, I'm good." And he operated as a rogue agent until they said, you know what, we need you back. So we're gonna forget all that. Now come home. And he relented and went back. That's what you want him to represent? Okay, say less. George Golden, you better talk to him. But, you know, again, these are people who don't. Great, Russian person. We understand that the movie didn't come out yet. He was doing press. See, you should be quiet before you start talking. And if you are going to talk, at least address the room and say good morning. But, you know, it's always y'all want to be seen. Oh, look here. Torian, you better stop. You better stop. You better stop. Y'all don't want to start talking about Isaiah Bradley. You better stop. Then they really gonna get mad because they're gonna look at it like, huh? Who is that? Okay. All right. You don't look like Eric July when they asked him what Amazing Fantasy 15 was. But hey, white supremacists, let me help you. Even though I shouldn't. I might get called a coon for doing this, but what I did was I went and got the actual statement. Would you like to hear a white supremacist? Nah, you're not gonna listen anyway, but we'll play it for you anyway. Maybe you'll learn something. Now that's the Italian woman asking the question, and for those who can't see it, in his right ear he has the translator. So there's going to be a little bit of a pause, and then he's going to start.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. This is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no.
That's what pissed the white supremacists off. White supremacists, let me holler at you. Didn't y'all for 4 years tell us that the current administration and the way the country is, they weren't operating with those ideals that he just expressed? Maybe I missed it. Where was the honor, the dignity, the resilience from the Biden administration, which y'all were running around saying they didn't have? Command Me wasn't doing this. What? Where? Now you want it? Boy. So sad. Let me tell you something. Them Europeans cosplaying as Americans, keep it up. Y'all gonna start speaking Mandarin very soon. Keep it up. B1 Andre. You listen, if I'm Marvel or Anthony Mackie, I start suing some of y'all. Real talk. They talking about tanking the movie, don't go see it. Let me help y'all, white supremacists. How the hell is the MCU supposed to get better when y'all keep boycotting every fucking movie that comes out because you find one thing in there you don't like? For those who forgot, when they did Endgame, remember at the beginning when they had the whole counseling session and they had the gay dude in there? Yeah, remember how they said that's the reason why they're not going to watch it, because it went too woke? And what ended up happening? Multi-billion-dollar movie. Interesting. Oh boy. Oh, he got more though. He got more. I forgot. He had more. Yes, thank you, Torian. Barbie was so woke, it made over $1 billion. Ben Shapiro saw it twice. It was considered for an Oscar. But okay. But he got more.
When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword. He's really trying to save that princess. And then one day, somebody told him, no, there's no dragons. It's not a sword. And that princess is not there. his little dreams were dashed. So, you know, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day when we see that dragon and when we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was. You know, walking on set every day and seeing my friends and, you know, getting to hang out with Harrison Ford. You know, it was, and Harrison Ford loves Italian food, by the way. I don't know, it was weird.
Hey, that rest of it, he was just talking about trying to find a restaurant for Harrison Ford here in Atlanta while they were filming. It's not important. But I just love the fact that they get outraged out of every little thing and don't do no research. And as dumb as their crowd is, even though they like to claim that they smart, they didn't go look up the full clip. The interview is only 6 minutes, but I know their attention. I get it. 15th in, did it. Tyrone Magnus did it. They all took it from X. Because X is really the bastion of positive, truthful knowledge. Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, well, George, remember, they got pissed at the new one, too. That one they had on Netflix. Because it wasn't all going to be centered on He-Man. I'm like, okay. So what? That's the beauty of this world. You have choices. Especially in America. You have choices. I'm not going to stand. Anthony Mackie don't love America. Yet he had to come out with a whole statement because y'all was sitting there being butthurt. Shout out to Dre Mack again. He had it right. How the hell you gonna call somebody Captain America and basically put yourself into that character and you know what he stands for and you're using that as a depiction of a country that does not stand for what that is supposed to be. But, you know. How many times has Captain America in the comics said, I don't think we should be invading this country? Let's do some investigating first. Nah, they still do it, and then he got to come in there and clean it up. But, you know, let y'all tell it. Well, Agape, they're never going to do that. They have to be outraged. It's like what myself and Brother Torian tell you guys all the time on our channels. You're new, so you've never heard this. It's not hard to do reactionary content. It's really not. Anybody could do it. If you're a content creator, the general consensus is that is the easiest content to do because it takes no effort. When you see these channels doing reactions to trailers coming out or video games coming out or the newest products, that's easy. You're taking somebody else's footage and basically just putting an opinion to it or putting fake shock on it that you can't believe what you're seeing. That's easy. These is what these reaction channels do. They do the same thing except they put politics into it. Fine. Very easy content. Here's the problem though. Once you do that, you can't escape it. You have to do it. It has to be the same mold all throughout. If you try to venture out, you will get called out. If you try to have a differing opinion than your other 955 videos, you're going to get called out. And you're going to have to go there. And then that starts to consume you. Everything you see, you have to find a problem with it. But again, these are the same folk who don't read comic books. They've told us in every video, I don't read the comics. but you know. America has fallen short for decades. That's why we're in the problems we're in. But because a fantasy character played by a real person offended you based on what they said, you decide to go do 12 minutes of commentary talking about how he's not an American. When he's more American than you. But that, you know, okay. By the way, for those who don't know, the 16th in is a child of immigrants. Oh, yes. He won't tell you that. Anthony Mackie people been here since the 1800s. What do you say, the 1700s? He been here since the 1700s. He traced his lineage way back. 16 in does his lineage, fuck around, and is some caveman in the Caucasus Mountains. You're a whole immigrant. Be quiet. You drunk bastard, you. This is why Eric July is getting ripped apart right now on Twitter and YouTube, and it's glorious. All these quote-unquote anti-woke channels trying to keep the grift alive. I'm going to see the movie 4 times. I've already planned it. I'm going to see it that Monday after Valentine's Day, unless I get off that weekend. I'm going to take the little one with me. My old lady going to see it. I might fuck around and go again on my next day off. I want to see it again. Now, is Anthony Mackie perfect? Nope. But again, what he said, I don't see what he said that was wrong. But again, these are folk that don't critically think. Okay, fine. That was my spiel for that. Might as well get into it. I'm going to cut this out later when I get home. I'm going to make it a separate video. I'm going to get this out the way now. I mentioned Eric July. I'm just going to get this out the way. He deserves everything he's getting right now. He deserves the lawsuits. He deserves the bad press he's getting. And I'm going to stand on that. I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Because his business decision making is horrendous. It's not that people don't like what you're putting out, sir. It's they told you, we would support it. We would support it. They supported it. They got their product. They found some problems with it. Now remember, when he started selling his comics, he was selling them for like $35 a copy. If you're going to charge that much for a comic book, but okay, they were still loyal to you. They said, listen, we have a problem with the art style. We have a problem with the writing. You improve that, you'll belong in this business. He took that as an affront of people hating on him. Newsflash, sir, I read ISA. It didn't capture me. I took all my bias on you out of it. I said, let me read. I'm sure there's comic book artists and writers and colorists that a lot of people don't like, but they like what's presented on the page. It didn't do it for me. You took it as people hating on you because you said, and I quote, "It's easy to hate on Eric July because I'm successful." Sir, for those who don't know how Eric July got successful and he's in the position that he's in, he got into that position because he had a video way back in 2018. Or no, was it 2016 or 2018? I don't remember the exact year. But it got hot and it went viral because he went in on the TV show Supergirl. And something clicked in his brain that said, I can make content like this, just going in on TV shows and things that are supposedly woke. And he kept doing it. That's why he's in the position he's in. But as I stated earlier, you can only do that for so long. And now he's talking about he's going to scale back content because, you know, I got to focus on my comic book company, yet you're still doing content. Then I got to say it, and I'm sorry. If you're going to run a comic book company, it would make sense for you to get people that read comics. I like Gothics as a person. That was a bad decision. She sat in her stream and said, I don't read comics. How are you going to advocate for a comic book company and don't read comics? How? You've never purchased a comic book in your life. How? How are you supposed to sell an indie against the big two and you've never read it? You've never purchased one. You don't know what that feeling's like. What if some 10-year-old said, listen, I see this Isom comic book. What is it? Is there any kind of comic book hero that's out right now that is comparable to this? So they can at least gauge it. You can't even tell them. It don't make sense. Then y'all, like I said, y'all keep coming up in here knocking. Look, is the MCU perfect? No. Is the DCU perfect? It didn't even start yet, but before the EU perfect? No. What are y'all going? Okay, y'all keep knocking it, and then they cease to exist. Then what? A brand new universe shows up. Y'all talking about is woke. Off one issue. I don't know. I don't know. And then they wonder why there's so much toxic fandom in these communities. They wonder why. All right. That is what it is. Trust me, let me tell you something, Eric. I don't hear Hollywood breaking down their necks to call you to put Isom on the big screen or even the small screen. I don't see it. Oh, Cosma. Remember what he said? He called him Peter Darker to Miles. He said Miles was gonna fail after praising it when it first came out. Now Miles is damn near gonna be $1 billion franchise on its own. Now, are they oversaturating him? Yes. But it's the same thing they did with the Batman Who Laughs. And when's the last time you've seen him? I don't even listen. You know how Fox is with comic book properties. Enough said. And we also know the history of Fox when it comes to black people. They'll be the first network to tell you to screw off. People like who I mentioned outside of Gothics, it makes it hard for people who want to jump into the comic book realm and come to that community when most of the people in there are cool, and they just make it hard. Pause. Just like with wrestling. The wrestling community is great, but we also have those agitators in there. And they make you embarrassed to be a fan. Especially now when it's crossing back over into pop culture. It's like they want everybody to be miserable like them. I'm sorry. I'm going to go see Captain America again 4 times. They're going to have a problem with that. They already having a problem with Avengers Doomsday, and the shit didn't even come out yet. They ran around saying, how can Robert Downey Jr. come back and be Dr. Doom? Okay, they're taking an Elseworld, they're taking a what if story. I guess you don't know in the Ultimate Universe, Dr. Doom is Reed Richards. Guess you don't know that, but you know. You would know that if you read the comics. You would know that. All right. But, you know, they had a problem with Rhodey having his own Disney Plus movie. They had a problem with that. They had to go push that back. Now they said they canceled it. They said they might be reviving it. They had to change the whole story around. Like, what the fuck? Fine, I'll say it since a few people said it and nobody wants to say it on mine. I'll say it. Avengers Infinity War was wrong. Tony shouldn't even have been there if you read the actual story. But all right. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But, you know. Oh, Shamika, don't worry. It's gonna get worse. Don't worry. You forget, a few more days is gonna be February. It's gonna get worse. And then 3 months after that, it's gonna get worse because it's gonna be May, and that's gonna be George Floyd. And it's 5 years now. The media has a sick obsession with the number 5. But, you know, let them tell it. Yes, he had his own book. But they tell you now, if they did that today, it's woke. War Machine's not that great of a character. I'm like, okay, first off, that's how we know you don't know. But, okay. All right. I don't know. Again, make sure you go see the movie. We need to get rid, watch, February 1st, we need to get rid of Martin Luther King Day. I'm like, okay, go ahead, go tell Congress that. Go ahead. And while you do that, then we're going to come back with a petition that says we need to get rid of President's Week. How about that? That's how we gotta start operating, family. You want to take one of us? We're gonna take 10. I don't think you want to go there. Hey, let's put out a petition. All those presidents that got street names, get rid of them. Since they want to knock MLK Jr. Boulevards, let's knock all these presidents off these streets. No more Washington, no more Lincoln, no more Adams. Get rid of all of them. Let's change JFK Airport. Let's change that. We just call it New York Airport. Let's do that. But, you know, for those who don't believe me that Captain America did what he did, America 332 through 3. It's called the Captain. They're gonna find something wrong with Daredevil. Watch what I tell you. There's gonna be one too many black people or minorities in it somewhere. There you go. Get rid of the Reagan Library. Get rid of the Carter Presidential Library. Get rid of it. No president should have their stuff on buildings. That includes Trump. Let's see how you like it. Sam Wilson character been around for 60 years. They get upset when he becomes not only past the sidekick, he becomes the actual dude. But didn't have a problem when Dick Grayson became Batman. Had no problem. There it is. Remember, family, they had a problem with Jon Stewart. Always forget that. Just because they're kissing his ass now. Remember, if you're really in the comics fandom, they had a problem with Jon Stewart. They could take an alien. They can't take a black man. And he's consistently number 2 on the best lanterns of all time. Consistently. But all right. When they start the Lantern series, they're going to have a problem with that. I promise you. Can't win, family. Can't win. But we're going to try our best. But anyway, how y'all doing? I always forget to ask that. I don't know what the hell happened to my screen. Oh, all right, I should be back. All right, I don't know what happened to the screen. That shit just froze on me. Oh boy. Can't enjoy nothing. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, since I got the other phone, I'm gonna play the full thing. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the full interview.
One day,
We're gonna play the full thing. Let me shut this car off, save some gas. What was it? Anthony Mackie, Rome. Yep, here it is.
An amazing ride. Might not know. It was a huge experience. I mean, a lot of people might not know. My first movie was this little movie called 8 Mile. And if you want to feel old, that was 24 years ago. Right. So this isn't my first ball. So it's been an amazing ride, a wild ride. And when I came into the MCU 11 years ago, and I never saw this coming. I never thought that this was a...
JC, he sucks so much, yet he's won awards, but he sucks so much, right? He's had a career since the 90s, but he sucks so much, right? Okay. I don't know no actor that's going to get that kind of momentum and motion for almost 30 years now because they suck. Not just on film, on TV too. But you're right, he sucks. Okay. He did that movie about the banks and killed it, but you're right. He sucks. Okay. You're right.
A possibility. So it's kind of like a dream come true. You know, I grew up watching Superman, you know, and Batman. Like Michael Keaton is my Batman, you know. So to be a group of kids, Captain America is something that is really, really amazing.
Waiting for Perry.
Cosa rappresenta per te oggi come supereroe Captain America?
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, you know, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. You know, it's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. You know, when I was a kid, you know, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day, somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, you know, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day when we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me. You know, walking on set every day and seeing my friends and, you know, getting to hang out with Harrison Ford. You know, it was, Harrison Ford loves Italian food, by the way. It was weird. One day, it was our first day meeting. I was like, yo, Harrison, you know, it's Harrison Ford. Like, can we hang out? Like, can I take you out? Can we hang out? What do you eat? And he goes, oh, Anthony, you know, I eat clean Italian. So I text all my Italian friends, and I was like, what the hell is clean Italian? Like, I don't know what, I'm like, is that like salad? Or like, what would that be? Fish? You know? So I go back to him, and I'm like, clean Italian, good. So I called this restaurant, this Italian restaurant in Atlanta where we shot, and I asked the chef, I was like, hey, can you make clean Italian? And he was like, are you saying I don't wash my food? I'm like, no. I don't know what clean Italian is. And I still haven't figured it out. No, I just took him to a restaurant. He was like, brr. That's how Harrison talks.
Non sappiamo neanche noi qual è il clean Italian.
That's what I'm saying. I still don't know. I was hoping somebody would say, well, clean Italian. I don't know. Gluten-free pasta. I don't know.
Però prima di passare la parola ai colleghi, te lo devo chiedere, lei già ha iniziato questo argomento, com'è stato averlo sul set Harrison Ford? Cioè, voglio dire, Han Solo, Indiana Jones che si trasforma in Red Hulk davanti a te, che effetto ti ha fatto?
It was very nerve-wracking. One of my favorite days, well, actually, it was a heartbreaking day. This is probably the worst day in cinematic history for this one guy. There was this guy, and he was sitting at a computer, and there's a scene where Harrison walks into, like, a boardroom, and this guy has one line. Through the whole movie, he just has one line. He has to turn to Harrison Ford and say his line with confidence to Harrison Ford. So we come on set, so Harrison goes, "You have any updates?" He turns around and he goes, forgets his line. We go back in the hallway. Harrison goes, "This isn't gonna go well." And I'm like, "No, it don't look like it." He goes in again, goes, "Action, do. You have any updates?" And the guy goes, "What? Cut, forgot his line. Third time Harrison comes in, he goes, "Hey kid, just relax, say your line, say it to me." Kid goes, "Oh," and this is like a 50-year-old man. Like, this is a dude who's waited his entire life to say a line to Harrison Ford, right? He just didn't think one day he would find himself in this shitty position of actually saying a line to Harrison Ford. So he turns around the third time and he just bursts into tears. And Harrison goes, "You did a good job, kid. You did a good job." Pat him on the shoulders. Then we walk back out in the hallway. We come in. There's a different dude in the chair. That dude got fired. It's heartbreaking. I never saw him again. But the next dude actually was able to say the line. He did a very good job. You'll see him in the movie. He's actually good.
The damn movie is called A Brave New World. Well, Brave New World. He took up the mantle of a hero that saved the universe. And he has to forge his own identity in a world that doesn't respect him. And y'all are pissed off that he said that it shouldn't just encompass America. All right. And if they would have stopped and just thought of that, they wouldn't be outside looking right foolish right now. It's like everything that happened after Endgame, even though you don't like it, you're not piecing it together. They're not just confined to America anymore. Everybody knows them. Everybody's looking to them for hope. The literal bad guy in the movie is working with damage control, who is trying to ruin the Avengers' credibility. But, you know, fine. Fine. They all in here. Look, they all in here with their dumbass videos. Clownfish TV, Ryan Cannell, Geeks and Gamers, John Campea, Mr. H Reviews, Drunk 3PO. But they're over there giving kudos and backslaps to the voice of the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man character because he said he thought the script was going to be woke. And he was afraid. Correct, because they came from a different time. Y'all forget when Captain America first started in the comics, black people didn't even get in the war yet. All right. Shout out to Dre Mac, by the way. Make sure you go check out his live stream from this morning. What about Tom Holland? Oh, listen, remember they hated Tom Holland when he first started. Now they can't see him not be Spider-Man. How is it incorrect, JG? Go ahead. Tell us how is it incorrect. What did I say that was incorrect? Let's have fun. Okay, when did black people get... Oh, God. JG, when did black people get into the war? I'm not talking about the Revolutionary War. I'm talking about World War II. When did they get in? I think you need to go look up history. Okay, he said early on. The bulk of the troops came in early on. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh boy. When did the war start, sir? I just want to know when the war started. The war started in 1939. They didn't get in there until 41. Late 40, early 41. But okay. All right. I get it. I get it, though. Correct. America didn't get into it. So what are we arguing about, sir? I say things specifically for a reason. I want people to think. Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes did not have contact with black people until they got to the war. Yes, I said black people. Yes, not blacks. Yes, black people. And it's not my history. My people are from Jamaica. It's not my history. So next question. Oh, man. No, we're not arguing over comic book characters. This is why you need to shut up and listen before you start talking. Who the fuck said? My God. Sir, we're talking about fantasy here, JG. Tell me when... Okay, fine. Name me the Captain America comic book where he said he met his first black person. Go ahead. Fine, you're right, Parasite. I'm not saying anything. We'll say bye-bye to you. There, I said something. How am I trying to make comic books? I'm trying to make comic books reality when Captain America's story literally started in the war. I'm trying to make it reality. Jesus Christ. Because Stan Lee, when he wrote the character, he didn't make it reality based. You're right. He didn't take what was going on at that time. You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh God. Sir, you're new here, so you shouldn't talk no more. Seriously, because you're not saying anything. He's arguing with me what Stan Lee wrote. Sir, oh my God. Sir, did Steve Rogers not come from Brooklyn? Did he not live in an all-white neighborhood? Tell me when he would have experience playing with black people. Go ahead. Would it not be till he got to the Army? But, okay. He thinks it's New York that a white person, an average white person, is just going to run to a black person and have a friendship with them in the 30s. I didn't deny one fact. I asked you a simple question. When did Steve Rogers meet his first black person? The war literally started in 1939. What fact did I deny? Sir, where he was from, there was no black people in his neighborhood. Oh my Jesus Christ. Again, yeah, fam, they're proving my point. They don't read the comics, but okay. All right. I read those early comic books. It was one black person in there until he got to the war. But, okay. All right. All right. You expect a white man to write a random black person with his star character way back in the 30s. When he wrote the comic book, literally decades later, but okay. All right. Sure. We'll go with it. His whole backstory, you never saw one black person. The scrawny kid, all right, okay. Sure. You're telling a New Yorker this. Okay. The city I come from literally has an entire borough that is separated by nationality and ethnicity. Every town is a different nationality or ethnicity. But okay. Cool. I never called him racist, JB. We never called Steve Rogers racist. Never called him racist. We're just explaining what happened back in the day. It has nothing to do with racism. That's just how New York was and the country was. It was still somewhat segregated. But, okay. Well, sir, even if they had jobs like nannies, how come you didn't see them in the comic? That's what I'm trying to drive at. I'm not conflating it with reality. We're talking about what Stan Lee and them wrote. We're going by their interpretation of what New York was. But okay. I'm really arguing over what somebody else wrote. Okay. Damn. Anyway, how y'all doing? I ain't see some people say how they were doing. I want to make sure you guys are good. How much did your wife not have this month, Marshall? That's how much I got. Because we know you're white. Trump said y'all lazy. He's still arguing it. What, fam? He wrote a whole paragraph making it seem like I said there was no black people in comics. That. Okay. Oh my God. You can't even just concede that you got some dates wrong and we can move on and have honest conversation about comics. Now you're bringing up that I said that there were no black people in comics when I never said that. Okay. Okay, fine, great. Guess what, Marshall? If you don't want them in comics, there's plenty of indie comics that have number white people in it. Go seek them out. There's plenty. They focus on white stories, white areas. There's plenty. There's plenty on the indie circuit. I'll give you one. It's called Rock. Look that up. JG, that's what trolls do because they're lost. They're dumb. YouTube is not sending me their best and brightest trolls. I need best and brightest trolls. I ain't even mad at you. I can see you're a fan. I'm not even mad at you. That's all they do. Who the fuck is Matt Rifle? You mean Matt Rife, the racist comedian? You gotta spell his name right. Come on now. No, I'm not frustrated. I just don't like when people start putting words in my mouth that I never said. Because even though you and I are talking, other people are watching and listening. That's not frustration. FX, sure. Everybody's racist. What are you going to do about it? Is that going to change your life that everybody's racist? So what? Listen, this country does enough racism for everybody. I don't need to be racist. Your corporations are being racist right now. Nobody's defensive, sir. You said, why are you racist? I said, I'm not racist. That's not being defensive. Me being defensive would have been just blocking you. That would have been defensive because that would mean I had something to hide. I said, okay, everybody's racist. What's your point? Everybody's racist. Great. We feel you on that. Everybody's racist. What now? Tell me how you're going to circumvent through life with everybody being racist. Even though I don't know what your background is. Go ahead. Tell us. Quick question. Did you like Civil War, the fact that there wasn't a part 2? You mean the one in 2016? Or are you talking about the comic book? Because if you're talking about the comic book, they did do a part 2, but nobody liked it. I didn't like the part 2. No, JB, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other fool who said that everybody's racist. Not you. You spelled his name wrong again. How you gonna take up for somebody and mess up their name twice? Sir, how can you then tell me everybody's race is not you? How am I excluded from everybody? Y'all gotta really listen. When y'all type stuff in there, the button that says send, you don't have to push it. As soon as you finish, you can reread what you said. Sir, if who cares, then why are you bringing it up? We're talking about comic books. You bring up a real life comedian. Why are you bringing him up? Didn't Matt Rife get into the MCU and I missed it? I'm assuming a lot, yet I'm reading your words on the screen, but I'm assuming a lot. Matt Rife already got called out for being racist. Let me help you. He already got called out. Every month he's in some controversy. But okay, y'all disguise it as comedy. Got it. Okay. Now back to you, JG. Now, which Civil War were you talking about? The comic book, or you were talking about the movie? Oh, the movie? I don't think you needed a part 2 for that. They solved the riddle. They solved the mystery that Bucky didn't do it. I mean, I don't know what would have part 2 been. But them revealing their identities? I think that would have been kind of dumb. You just put Spider-Man in there and then he takes his mask off. That wouldn't have made sense. Where was the I know the Fantastic Four wasn't there, but they're a big part of it. They didn't need a part 2 for that. They kept remnants of it in the other movies, but I mean, you have damage control now, so well, let's see where they take that. But no, Captain America Civil War didn't need a second and didn't need a part 2. No, Bucky was manipulated. He didn't. No, wait, no, he didn't do it. They edited the footage because they proved it near the end of the movie. Oh, now JG, you know if they would have killed him on camera, you know that people would have revolted. Even though that's comic accurate. He wouldn't have turned himself in and he wouldn't have got shot on the... If they filed the comic book, he would have turned himself in, he would have got shot on courthouse steps. You know people would have lost their mind. How's he not going to be for Infinity War? Well, like I said, the movie coming out in a couple weeks, go see it. I'd rather y'all see it and then shit on it because you didn't like it than just saying because he said something in a presser, you're not going to go see it. You would think you'd go see it just to see him get his ass kicked. But, you know, we know secretly they're going to go see it. They're going to tell you how base they are. They went to go get it off a pirate site. That's how base they're going to tell you that. I'm like, oh, so you're telling me you're going to risk getting a letter from the government just so you could stick it to Anthony Mackie, who already got paid. My question is, what did Steve Rogers do after going back in time after Endgame? Did he work behind the scenes helping the Avengers? No, he stayed in the past. And he got with Peggy, and they grew old together. And then he gave what's the name, the shield. I mean, in the comics, yeah, he retired the mantle and he worked for shield. But they're not gonna do that because the way they did shield in the MCU is crazy. Like, shield ain't even a thing no more. But you know, Mackie did nothing wrong. He said something that folk didn't like, even though they have no critical thinking skills, and realized that he actually complimented actual human beings, not a country. But they don't get it. They just heard America shouldn't be part of Captain America, and they thought that he was saying he's not, Captain America shouldn't be American. Okay, all right. Well, sword is something different. That's space based. They deal with the space stuff, unless they changed it in the comic books. And I think, what show was it they showed sword? Was that Loki? But most people did forget about Captain America because he's been stale the last few years. Last time he was hot was during Secret Invasion and Hail Hydra. I mean, they focus more on Iron Man. They focus more on Spider-Man. They've been focusing more on the Uncanny Avengers. The new Avengers team, they have Storm now. She's going to be the leader of the Avengers soon. They're focused more on the X-Men now because the X-Men are supposed to start ramping up. And they're in the mutant phase now. So exactly what Captain America is going to do. I mean, he's good in the Ultimate Universe, so maybe they'll focus on him over there. No, well, JL West, remember, Tony funded the Avengers for a while. That's why they did Avengers Disassembled. Okay, so what? I didn't watch WandaVision the whole way, so apologies to be on that. Yeah, but Cosmo, you know they don't hear that. They heard America is a term that should not be one of them. Like, he's literally saying Captain America is like Superman. He literally said that. Everybody equates Superman to being American-based hero, but he became a symbol of the world. Hell, there's scenes in the movie where you're going to see multiple locations around the world saying, "Where is Steve Rogers?" The movie is basically him forging out his own identity as Captain America. But these would have been the same people who wouldn't have been pissed off if Bucky got the mantle. They wouldn't have been pissed. I don't know. Bucky had it for like, what, 12 issues, gave it back. Sam gets it, leads a whole Avengers team, and that ain't enough for him. The only thing I don't like the way they did Sam Wilson in MCU is Sam Wilson's actually very smart, but they haven't leaned into that, which I don't understand why, but you know. But you also got to understand, J.L. West, a lot of it was manipulation. Like, he was manipulated the day he supposedly died. He was being manipulated by Zemo and him. So you got to understand. A lot of that stuff is not his fault. But there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of healthy resentment to him. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I know you know, I'm just saying for people who don't know his history. Because they just saw Winter Soldier. It's like, oh, this is a badass right here. Yeah, his thing is very layered. But again, like I said earlier, these be the same folk wouldn't get upset. They got upset with black Batmans, but didn't get upset when Dick Grayson took over, when they thought Batman was dead. Didn't get mad at John Paul Valley when he was given the mantle. But, you know. That's why I hope. Now they're going to get mad when I say this. I've been trying to angle for an Avengers comic book that just has nothing but black heroes for one story. That I want to see. Correct. That's why Black Panther did the numbers it did. And they couldn't even say nothing. No, fam, let me tell you something. They came out with Black Panther during the age of anti-woke. That thing might have made like $4 billion. Cause motherfuckers would have, that probably would have killed the anti-woke movement. Cause motherfuckers would have been in there like, why we have to have a black superhero? What is this? And then everybody would have been like, okay, let me go look. That had a problem that Shuri was out there fighting. His soldiers were not men, they were all the Dora Milaje. Everybody was like, let me go look. They were like, yo, that movie was fire. Now, I ain't gonna go see it again, but that was fire. That might have made $4 billion in a month. What do you think of Young Ripper's comic books? I hate them. I read Isom. I didn't like it. I thought the writing was shoddy. If the writing can't keep me, I don't care how well drawn the characters are. The writing, a comic book, the writing is what keeps you going. I got to know how you're going to fight. I got to know why you're going to fight. Your character gotta appeal to me. It didn't work. And for someone that read it, I understand why people had a problem with it. And I also understand why they're frustrated that they're telling him, if you just fix the writing and the art style, we'll stay. We'll support you. Especially if you're going to plunk down $35 for the comic book. And he taking it as hate. They hate him because he's Eric July. I'm like, motherfucker, nobody knew you until you did that Supergirl video. Nobody knew you. Have you read any of the Power Ranger comic books in recent years? Yes. Shout out to Boom Studios. Yes. I read Legend of White Dragon. I read the one where I read the TMNT one. They're supposed to be coming out with a VR Troopers one either end of this year or next year. And it's supposed to be interconnected to their universe. So hopefully they do that. I kind of want to see what they're going to do with VR Troopers. That I want to see. But Eric July is doing what all these other comic book people are trying to do. They're trying to compete with Marvel and DC, and they're not trying to stay in their own lane. That's why manga is kicking the comic books ass right now, because they're not trying to flood the market. And instead of comic book companies just getting back to the ideas which made them great, story, art, and compelling characters, they just trying to do everything and doing it badly. Power Rangers Prime, let me see. No, when I said the VR Troopers, they said they were supposed to get a solo book. Oh, this just came out. Oh, here we go. Oh, Lord. Here we go. I already found the problem they're going to bitch about now. Oh, I already see it. Great. Here we go. So they're going to make the Red Ranger. So they're going to make the Red Ranger a female. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Allegedly, I'm not sure because I see her in the thing. So I don't know. If she's going to be the leader, I already know there's going to be a problem. All right, let's see. Yeah, I know. They had one in SPD on the bad team. I know, but you know how they are. They don't look at the source material and they're like, oh, they're just trying to be woke. I'm like, okay. All right, dude. That's why they had such a problem with Cosmic Fury when they made Old Girl a leader. I was like, oh, here we go. Which is funny because they love Wonder Woman. And she be leading the Amazons, but I guess because it's other women. I guess. I get it. I don't know. Can't have nothing. You can't have nothing. Shit, it's 11:40. I gotta get to work. Anyway, let me head to work. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I try to be better next time. Again, go see Captain America Brave New World in a couple weeks. Giancarlo Esposito in it. Anthony Mackie. Let's show them that it's past what is considered woke. It's all about watching a movie for about 2 hours. You forget about the world. And the reason why I'm doing this live instead of y'all seeing that uploaded video is my thing crashed and wiped out that file. I don't even know why. But I can't get it back, so I have to figure out how to re-record it again. Technology. But we will be live tomorrow morning where we talk about affirmative action. Oh, joy. Vampire Hunter Greg, thank you for the $10. That's a blessing. He says, really cool to hear your comic book and movie takes. I stated we're in golden age of black comics. Comics like Beru, Black Sands, Watson and Holmes, Prodigy, really great. Yeah. I plan to do some of that material next month. So we're going to get that done. We're gonna highlight black superheroes. I've done it before, but we're gonna do it again. We got a lot of Black History concept. We got a lot of Black History concepts coming up next month. We're gonna have fun. I'm thinking about doing a shorter day about a black inventor. I'm thinking about doing it. It's very easy. Anyway, y'all, let me head out to work. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Stay warm, stay safe, take care, and you know what to do when the ages of chaos come to mess up your existence.